压倒了，推动构建新型国际关系，推动构建。
Dahil sa pagbubukas ng Liang Hui o Two Sessions, maraming bansa ngayon sa buong mundo ang nakatuon sa Tsina dahil sa maraming larangang pagdidebatihan at pag-uusapan sa mga sesyong ito. Isa sa mga bansang may malaking koneksyon sa Tsina dahil sa strategic partnership ay ang Pilipinas. Magandang hapon po. Ito po si Rio Zablan ng Serbisyo Filipino ng China Media Group at sa araw na ito makakasama po natin si Chito Santa Romana, Embahador ng Pilipinas sa China upang magbigay ng kanyang pananaw at saloobin sa government work report na ibinigay ni Premyer Li Keqiang at ibibigay rin ang kanyang pananaw tungkol sa mga usapin at plano ng China sa hinaharap. Tara, samahan niyo ko. Pasok tayo sa Embahada ng Pilipinas sa China.
The work report delivered by Premyer Li Keqiang at the National People's Congress is a very frank appraisal of the state of China right now, particularly its economy. It gives us a very good idea of the challenges that China faces. Premier Li laid out a roadmap of how China can advance despite the unpredictable and grave economic environment that it faces now, given the rise of protectionism and the consequence of the U.S.-China trade war. At the same time, we can see the determination of the Chinese government to use fiscal measures like tax cuts and budgetary allocations for small and medium-sized enterprises in its search for drivers of growth that will further propel the Chinese economy forward. In terms of the Philippines, I think it is to our interest to see China being able to overcome the problems of an economic slowdown and other domestic issues, because an economically stable China will continue to provide us with our biggest market for Philippine foreign trade, particularly our exports. An economically stable China is also beneficial to us because with the tax cuts to Chinese companies, their tax burden will be lightened and they will have more incentive to invest abroad. According to the latest figures from the investment promotion agencies in the Philippines, the Chinese companies now provide the biggest source of investment, of approved investment to the country. And with the rise in consumption in China and the improvement in the people's living standards, continuing as it achieves economic growth, stable economic growth, the outflow of Chinese tourism will continue, and China is now our number 2 source of tourists. So all of this is actually a positive signal. Despite the problems and the gravity of the risk that China is confronted with, the measures that Premier Li has outlined provides a strong signal that China will continue to move forward at a slower but steady growth rate and continue to be a source of global and regional economic growth and stability.